What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at Pinnacle Fall Series 1. So as I'm recording this, they've just added the invited teams, who are FaZe, VP, Big, and Team Spirit. Before that, the only teams that were here were the qualified teams. And here you can see the most picked players. So basically, none of the invited teams players are in the most picked players. And I don't remember which event this was for, but this has happened before where they add quote unquote better teams later on. And what this does is that a lot of people will have picked these players from teams other than the invited teams, and then they won't change their lineup, and thus the most picked lineups will usually not include these. And what this does is it kind of incentivizes you to pick from these bigger teams that got invited, because you always want to be kind of a bit different from the pack. At least most of the time, it kind of benefits you to do something a bit different. And yeah, that's especially good when the teams that people haven't picked are kind of better teams. Either way, let's look at this playoffs bracket. Obviously, always a problem with picking a team that is invited is that they don't get as many points from this first round of the playoffs. But it is still better usually to pick from a team that's gonna make it to the finals and maybe even win the event than to pick one of these teams. And of course, you also have to pick the correct players. So I am definitely going for. I think I'm definitely going for a lower bracket invited team, so either VP or FaZe. Let's check how FaZe and VP been doing lately. So FaZe did pretty well in EPL, right? They went 3-2, only losing to Navi and Fnatic. And they did make it through, I think. No, they didn't actually. They went 3-2, but didn't make it through. But I mean, they still went 3-2, so yeah, they just lost to Fnatic, and I guess that's why the tiebreaker goes in Fnatic's way. Yeah, it goes Fnatic's way. Either way, it's still a decent showing from FaZe, and the thing here is that they're playing against Galaxy Racer or Dignitas first round, and then probably VP in the second round. So, and I think VP should also beat one winner CPH, but if I don't remember incorrectly, I would say that VP haven't done that well lately, right? They've had a bit of struggles. Yeah, they did worse in EPL than FaZe did. They're 56th in Cologne, beating only Sinners and G2 who went 05, losing to Force, OG, Complexity. I mean, aren't the worst results, but Ekindar's not been doing as hot anymore as he did at one stage. Pretty good for last month. Buster and Keykurt aren't very expensive. Or there, I've started looking at the last month and the last 3 months stats a bit more than I used to. James should obviously be always a solid pick. Even he doesn't have the greatest stats for the last months. Sanji probably pretty consistently around that level. What was the other team? The other team was FaZe. Obviously, these three guys are pretty inexpensive, but then Twist and Brokey have kind of gone up in price. Twist is super good. I think he's always gonna perform for them, pretty much. Brokey has showed to me that he's definitely the real deal in my eyes. Someone like Olofmeister, not a bad shout in my eyes. Always could turn up against opposition like this. Even Carrigan goes into that category of players. Rain, you could pick him up as an entry fragger, and I think he's a bit improved. He had a really large streak of like just not doing well enough when FaZe wasn't doing enough, but I think he's done at least a bit better. I think it's probably gonna be FaZe who I pick from this lower side of the bracket. I think VP usually would. I would assume that VP is gonna struggle in this kind of event a bit. They haven't done that well for a long time, and I think FaZe are on the up. If you wish to put it that way, even though it is a smaller event and online. I just think that one of these teams should make it to the final always. From these teams, I would be very surprised to see any of these teams beat these guys. But we'll see. Maybe it's also, I mean, VP might be the better pick. I'll come back to it, but first I'll choose what I want to do with the upper bracket. So I guess Endpoint and Skate I would put as like as having the highest upset potential. I guess Ago also could do good. So I think Skate always goes through against Gamer Legion pretty much. This is a pretty coin flippy matchup, so I don't think I want to even worry about these two teams. You could go Spirit. You could also go with like Big or Skate, I think. I think these three teams are the ones I am most considering. How good has Skate done lately? I mean, they also have a stand-in. I think I have to go Spirit or Big as well. So when I pick Spirit, I really love picking MIR here. Oh wow, okay. I'm not picking here. Or am I? How much have they played last month? Okay, so they haven't played that much last month. So it's not the greatest sample size. But it's not that great for definitely. Magix has been hitting it up in FPL and such. He's, I think, also one of those consistently decent players. Was SDY. Oh, SDY having a bit of a dip in form. Wait, how have Spirit played lately? They haven't played much this month. Yeah, they only won one series in EPL. That's definitely not looking good for them. They did win Pinnacle Cup though, but it's before. Like it's a long time ago. I might go Big. I might just go Big. I think they were decent at EPL, even though they kind of let me down in the end. But I had Sears and Tabson in EPL C and D. I'll try and compare some of the players for Big, how they've been doing. So okay, Keto not looking that awesome. Tizian, because the thing is that these Tizians and Ketos definitely could get more of a role, just because they have Rotting Gate. I think Tizian, for example, seems like a decent shout. For 180 grand, that's a good option. Searson and Tapson, I might just go Searson Tapson again. They had a lot of great impact in the in the last event. I think I'm probably going for Searson Tapson again, to be honest. They did so well they did well in the last event I was watching. So if I want to go Sears and Tabson, I might substitute one of them for Tizian. We'll see. Then I have to go for at least one of these cheaper face guys. It could be Carrigan. How have Carrigan's stats looked? A bit higher for last month than usual. Yeah. Look, he can still definitely do not horribly, right? Definitely be decent. So if I go Carrigan, can I get like a twist and then someone decent, or do I have to settle for someone not good? Okay, so I can get some decent players. I should look into these cheaper guys definitely, and who makes the most sense. Because if I say I'm not picking from VP, but I'm picking from face, because I could also pick from VP, but I don't know if I can. If I don't pick from, if I pick from VP, problem becomes I have to probably pick Sanji then. Sanji is a decent pick because you can put headshot booster, and then you can put like flash assist. He's really good at, for example. And then I guess one of these guys. They have, yeah, I have Searson as an op. That's good. The Kindar entry, of course, makes sense, but okay, we actually. You pick Sanji. There's some pretty good cheap options in this, like a very wide array of cheap options. I should kind of look into, for example, who do I think is definitely going to win this first round and who could be doing some good stuff there. Because, for example, Dignitas, Galaxy Racer, but then I'm picking FaZe. I should really choose between VP and FaZe now. I think that's very important. I think Big's a good shout. Big is a team that definitely could do well in this kind of event. I'm going Big for sure, I think now. But VP and FaZe. I'm trying to think, like, how does FaZe usually do in these smaller events? Can I check events? Yes. Ended events. First to fourth in Cologne, yeah. Third, yeah. These are like super old results. It doesn't really matter. Gamers Without Borders. It's kind of one of these smaller events. Lost to Big, but beat Dignitas still. They are playing Dignitas. If Galaxy Racer, I don't go through against them. They don't play many of these smaller events. But I think that's maybe better that they don't play many of them. I think that's more of a sign that when they play an event, they just don't go to every event. They want to probably have this for practice or whatever. This is not like a very big event, so I think VP I've seen struggle in these smaller events before. This RMR is not small, but they didn't do too well there. It's the last time they played something small. Okay, so they don't play. Okay, Funspark ulti, they lost to Havu, lost to Force. Yeah, I think I'm going FaZe. I have this feeling that BPR possibly even lose their first match, but I think they're gonna lose to FaZe. Comes to that. And then I think it has to be Carrigan. He's so much cheaper than the others. Then probably Twists. And then I'll choose between some of the cheaper guys. The thing is, I don't even maybe have to pick Carrigan. I might Uxie. Uxie's been decent, and yeah. You know what? I think I'm going Uxie. And then you can pick someone better than, like, we can get a 190 guy. Olaf doesn't quite work very well with the money. I do love Twists. I think he's a great shout for this. Doesn't have to be Hooksy. If I go Twists, this Brokey is probably undoable, yeah. Twists, Rain. There's Freiburg. I mean, Freiburg's not a bad shout either. Might just be Freiburg, honestly. And then we can go, AWP, Headshot, Entry, IGL, and, wait. I want to check his. That's not here, of course. So it's not impressing. Definitely not impressing. But the thing is, he's only playing one match. I mean, 1 to 2 matches against Galaxy Racer. He could one of those good results. There's no one better to really fill this role, I think. I'll look for other options without Rain. I'm also not that excited about Rain. I want to have like Olaf or Carrigan. Who can I get instead? We could get like a Furlan. But haven't his stats kind of gone down rather than up? I think so, yeah. No one else really makes sense. If you go Carrigan, you can get 1A3 guy, like a Mighty Max. But then you still leave like 5 grand in the bank. You don't really love to do that. You'd maybe want to pick a Sanji, but if I don't think Sanji is gonna, or VP is gonna do well, he definitely could be a super bot. I'm talking about Sanji. I think the way to do it is Freiburg with Rain as entry, and then Freiburg as, I don't know about noob, but maybe. Let's see. So it would be role wise definitely AWP, IGL, headshots, entry fragger probably. I'll check for some other options. I think it's gonna be entry every time. Yeah, it's entry. And then Freiburg, this could be noob. I feel better about camper than noob. Okay, like 95% is noob. 89. Support for 86. I mean 89%. I'll go with support probably. This is 89%. It's the same as camper, but you sometimes get the big booster as well. And then I mean I hope he doesn't noob out, so it's a bit of a, like, going with noob is a hedge. You can hedge your bets a bit if you want to go noob. Do I like this team? I think so. I think Twists, Tapson, and Searson can definitely hit some points, as well as Rain. And then as long as Freiburg isn't like the biggest bot ever in the match against Galaxy Racer, not Gamer Legion. Yeah, Galaxy Racer. I think they're gonna be fine. That I'm gonna be fine with Freiburg for the price that he's at. I have a pretty good amount of confidence in this, but I have to say, I'll put this booster first for Galaxy Racer. I mean, my bottom scorecard has to be against on Freiburg against something. I just have it here. Do we have enough? Oh, okay. How many boosters do I get to use is the question as well. So, best case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 boosters. 13, 14 boosters kinda is the maximum, and there's how many? You don't get to use all the boosters. think you still go bottom of scorecard as for Freiburg. It just makes too much sense. I wouldn't want to put bottom of scorecard on anyone else. Yeah. Is there something where he stands out in comparison to others? Like nade king, like a nade guy. Ooh, Tapson is super nade guy. Okay. Pretty good at bait. Could go bait as well. Might be better than bottom. Bait is actually better than bottom scorecard. Okay, we're going bait if we can. Or unless we find something better. Yeah. Go bait. Okay. So that's this team. I'll show you how my fantasy is going in general. And oh my god, I'm doing so horrible. I have to tell you guys right now, like my fantasy is just not doing well. Or in terms of the fall league. So this was my team for the earlier stage of Pinnacle, and K23 ended up being a big disappointment with Milan as well. Then again, like FPX, it's just they didn't even qualify or what. But even like possible, FPX, honestly, I really expected that they were gonna go like 3-0 and crush, but Madden ended up being my most expensive player, but also the second worst player. Harlik not good enough. Nico Odas and Yabi did fine, and they qualified for the next stage. With CPH going 3-2, but it's just not good enough. Let's go check some of the actually top teams. Deco ended up being the points king, but for the price, I guess someone like Polt and Mighty Max would have been better. Polt, especially over 100 points for 1.06 rating is very good. Fuxi as well, decent as a cheap option. And 55 booster points, also great. But I think there was probably a lot of different teams you could do for this. Yeah, very different team here with Freiburg and Dennis Law. I think Skate went 3-0. Yeah, Skate went 3-0 as well as Endpoint. So basically, Skate Endpoint with Freiburg is always going to work out very well for you. Check on the other fantasies. So if EPL, C, and D. No, nothing really to see here. Nafany being decent. Inter, I don't think I can put boosters. No. Problem player really being Mihu. Very disappointing pick. Minus 46 points is just not good at all. Yeah, starting from here is his stats for. From here is his stats for this event, and it's just not good enough at all. I didn't think EG would make it through or do very well in the event, but I did expect that Mihu would do at least fine, but not the case. Tapson and Searson, of course, could have gotten a bit more. I think they had like 2 matches where they did amazing, and then 3 matches where they didn't do that great. But not the worst picks. And then interestingly, they have old pictures in this. They have new pictures in my. Wait, did I saved it? Where's my team? Oh, there we are. Yeah, new pictures here. Last but not least, we have EDC. I don't understand how Harn is doing this terribly now for this one. Oh, I have to put some boosters on as well, actually. Good that I realized. Headshots should be a smart option. And duplicate. I don't think, yeah, they're not playing anymore, I don't think so. Power view, bottom of scorecard. I think this makes more sense. But clutch, oh. Milan is just a hard one too. I'll actually throw bottom of scorecard on Milan instead. Then what would duplicate be good at? Okay at avenging. I'll pick that if I don't get anything better. Could even make an ace. KST. Okay. But yeah, again, definitely not what you want to see. Harn is a big disappointment, whereas Nilan is like one of my better players for this event now. He had such huge problems. Don't understand how they're doing as badly as they are in this event, but okay. And then Oxygen and Duplicate, like Oxygen doing actually pretty decent, but Duplicate not that much. Yeah, you know, now I'm just making the teams for fun mostly. I don't think, I mean, when we go here on fantasy, the fall season is quite long. You have to remember that these seasons aren't short. But I mean, there's always a reason to play because of still having prizes, right? You go here. I don't know what the prices are for this, but oh yeah, I remember. It's super awkward to look at the prices and such. Here, okay, classic knife. Oh yeah, you still get some good prices even if you only do well in one of these events. So don't have to worry too much about the fall season anymore, and hopefully we will do better in the next season. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.